This is Cast of Wonders, the young adult fiction podcast featuring stories of the fantastic. Welcome, episode 656. I'm Catherine Inskip, your editor and host. Every autumn, Cast of Wonders celebrates Banned Books Week, an annual international event celebrating the freedom to read and raising awareness of the immense social value of free and open access to information. It's all too easy to doom scroll these days. The world is facing a climate emergency amidst a global rise in fascism and prejudice. For this year's event, we chose the theme of joy that sustains and asked for stories that showcase the hopefulness and power of diverse voices, stories of music in dark times, stories that are unapologetic and inspiring. Our first Banned Books Week story is Unconventionally Bound by Asai Sparrow, a Cast of Wonders original. Asai Sparrow is a young writer who looks forward to leaving the Midwestern US. When they aren't reading or writing, they can usually be found learning new crafts, eyeing fountain pen inks, or contemplating the logistics of having a dragon for a roommate. Occasionally, they show up on Tumblr at Bookish Sparrow. This is their first published story. This story is narrated by Karen Menzel. Karen Menzel, née Bovenmaier, earned an MFA in Creative Writing Popular Fiction from the University of Southern Maine. She teaches and mentors students at Iowa State University and Western Technical College. She is a 2016 recipient of the Horror Writers Association Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley Scholarship. Her poems, short stories and novellas appear in more than 40 publications, and her first novel, Swift for the Sun, debuted from Dreamspinner Press in 2017. Karen's website is at karenbovenmaier.com. She was an assistant editor of Pseudopod between 2018 to 2021. This story comes with a content warning for the aftermath of a fire. And now, we've a tale to tell.
Unconventionally Bound by Asai Sparrow. With ash-stained gloves, I ease another book free of the charred shelf. Deckel sneezes at the burnt leather, but she guided me to this one for a reason. Despite the sorry state of the cover, the pages look to be mostly intact. The next book is much worse off, and I can barely identify it. Still, I can feel Deckel's certainty through our bond. One of next year's students will need it. I nearly trip over the book after that. It must have fallen at some point. It takes a bit of doing to retrieve it, Deckel tucking herself under my arm as I lower myself to the floor. The edges of her scales leave red lines on my skin. They've been getting sharper. I should probably get around to getting a reinforced sleeve soon. The book's cover crumbles a little when I pick it up, and I get the feeling some of the pages are damaged, but none fall out, so it can probably be repaired. As inappropriate as it may be, I'm excited by the task ahead. It will be refreshing compared to assembling new covers or making whole replacement copies. Deckel shifts from where she's settled beside me. She can't keep the ash away from my lungs for much longer, not if we want to come back again tomorrow. It's an important reminder. She's never been able to maintain a ward as long as most other dragons her age. Instead, her strength lies in knowing when things are most needed. Wards, but also other things, like books. I set the book in the basket on her back, and we pick our way carefully back outside. Before the fire, my restoration work on the books was organized either by clear reason or my own mood. Since the fire, that's changed. Almost every decision about which book to restore when is guided by the sense of knowing that Deckel and I share. I spend my mornings retrieving books and my evenings working on restoring them until the day there's nothing left to bring back from those shelves. Most of the books need the covers replaced, and my hands ache most nights from cutting boards to size. But the thought of a full shelf keeps me going. In the end, that book I almost tripped over on the initial trip is the very last one to be restored, a little more than 2 years later. A number of the pages were burnt or had ink too smeared to read, so I had to note the sentences before and after each of them and send my apprentice to the library in the capital to copy the damaged sections. After they return, I undo the binding and insert the new pages before sewing the whole thing back together. Then paste on the mole, so it'll be ready when the time comes to attach the cover. The spine is a bit bulky from spots where I glued a single page rather than replacing the whole sheet and resewing the signature. The handwriting also doesn't match, but the important part is that it's complete. As I work, I find myself oddly happy. The circumstances that led to this task are heartbreaking, but the task itself makes my bond with Deckel sing. This is what we were made for, preserving these words for the next generations of dragon-human bonds. I know that I should wait to make the cover until I have the chance to measure the dried text block, but I find myself itching to continue working. So instead, I retrieve some paper and begin binding a blank journal. I've left the crafting of those to my apprentice since the fire, but the change of pace could do me good. A task where I can rejoice in both the reason and the process. The next morning, I cut boards to size and start assembling the cover. My hand drifts across the rolls of decorative paper, which have become less sparse as the school has recovered. Not forest green or speckled gold, I settle on a gently mottled berry color. After pasting it to the boards, while waiting for it to dry, I assemble another blank journal. It's soft-covered and uses paper I marbled in blue and gray late in my apprenticeship. After the journal is complete, I return to the book I've been restoring. Retrieving my favorite wide-nib pen and a bit of blank paper cut to size, I select a deep purple ink and letter the book's title. Complex Bonds. Beyond the One Human, One Dragon model. A sense of elation settles over me as I paste the title card to the cover and set weights atop it before leaving it to dry. Deckel and I enter the library, the last repaired book and several blank journals in our basket. I miss the old library, but rebuilt, it's a sight to behold. The new support beams have been painted as longleaf pines, and in place of needles, paper birds hang from the rafters. I slot the new journals onto a small set of shelves near the door, then drift toward the library proper. There's a cluster of 2 kids and 3 dragons nearby. New students, since the dragons are still no bigger than a particularly large cat. A few shelves further, a kid stands alone, looking kind of lost. Her dragon isn't with her. Maybe in that cluster near the entrance. Deckel huffs softly as we approach. "Can I help you find anything?" She turns to look at me, and I can see the moment she reads the title of the book in Deckel's basket. Then she reads it a second time. "I think you already have," she says, voice strange. "Oh." She reaches for the book, looking at me as if to ask for permission. I nod slightly. I was just reshelving it after all. When she joins the group by the door, 2 of the dragons begin arguing over which of them gets to sit on her shoulders. She shows them all the book, and I can see them lean closer. I'm curious what shape the connections between the 6 of them take, but I leave them be. They've likely faced too many questions from others and from themselves already. As we go to check if anything else needs to be reshelved, I find myself thinking of all the other students who haven't found their books yet. Declan nudges me through our bond. There are books waiting on the table where the ones damaged in circulation go. I gather them, and we start back toward our workshop. When we're done, some other student will find what they need the way those 6 did, the way Declan and I did, when we were almost that young.
It's wonderful to open Banned Books Week with a story from a young author, and I'm very much looking forward to reading more of their work in the years ahead. Library-themed pieces are also very fitting, and I love how this story focuses not on the dark days of destruction, or even just the careful rebuilding that follows, but the very purpose of a library as a collection of diverse voices. It shows the gift of a good librarian as a custodian of what is needed, and a library as a place of welcoming, belonging, and self-discovery for all. Join us again soon. We love bringing you the best audio fiction week after week, but we can't do it without your support. As you may have noticed, starting October 1st, we introduced brief, tasteful advertisements at the beginning and end of our episodes. But here's the thing, this isn't just about ads. It's about ensuring we can continue bringing you the incredible stories you love while fairly compensating our amazing authors, voice actors, artists, and editors who make the magic happen. We heard you loud and clear in our recent audience survey. 69% of you told us ads are a necessary evil, and another 30% said you don't mind them at all, especially when there's an ad-free option for supporters. Well, we listened. For our incredible subscribers and supporters, we're creating premium ad-free versions of every episode, plus bonus content you won't find anywhere else. If you haven't subscribed already, you can get all of our premium access content for just $7 per month. This decision comes from a place of love for our community and commitment to quality. Our expenses have grown as we've expanded to serve our global audience of millions, and we want to continue supporting the brilliant creators who bring those stories to life. The vast majority of you told us you'd support us through this transition, and that means the world to us. Whether you choose to enjoy our stories with ads or join our premium community, we're grateful you've been part of this journey. You've been with us since 2005 through every evolution of Escape Artists, and we couldn't do what we do without your incredible support. Thank you for helping us bring free and accessible speculative audio fiction to listeners around the globe. You can join the discussion on the EA Discord and visit us on Blue Sky at castofwonders.org. Come say hello. Cast of Wonders is brought to you by editor Catherine Inskip, assistant editors Alicia Caparaso and Amy Brennan, associate editors Rebecca Arn, Tanya Adelit, Cup Jacob, Becca Miles, Ray O, Samuel Poots, Emma Smales, Denise Sudell, Rin Yi, and Angela Zazueta. Our audio producer is Jeremy Carter. Cast of Wonders is part of the Escape Artists Foundation, a 501c3 non-profit, and this episode is distributed under the Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives 4.0 International License. That means you can download or listen to the episode on any device you like, but you can't change it or sell it. Our theme music is Appeal to Heavens by Alexei Nov, available from Promo DJ or his Facebook page. Thank you for listening.